Hello and welcome to my small corner of the internet. My name is Megan and I have an endless TBR. Today we're going to run through the questions in the New Year's tag. So this was originally created by Heather from the Bookables, and I was actually tagged to do this tag. Thank you so much, Kimberly from the Audiobook Reader. She is also a new booktuber and somebody that I discovered as I was trying to find the questions for the BookTube newbie tag, which I completed in my first weekend reading vlog. So you can check that out on my channel. So thank you, Kim. Thank you, Heather, for creating this tag. And let's get started. Question number 1 is, how many books are you planning to read in 2021? In 2021, I managed to read 200 titles, and that was my highest number ever, and probably the highest I will ever reach. So I have set my Goodreads goal for 2021 at 75. I've been averaging a little bit over 100 titles for the last couple of years, and I am in grad school for all of this year. We start at the end of January. I'll do spring, summer, and fall classes. Sometimes you need that distraction of reading for pleasure in the midst of my grad coursework. So I do plan on continuing to read novels in addition to my textbooks, but let's strive for something a little bit less than 100 and see how we do. Question number 2 is, name 5 books that you didn't get to in 2020 but want to make a priority in 2021. These are all titles that I own, and one of my 2021 reading goals is to read more from my owned shelves. I primarily read from the library, but I do own a good number of books, and I also have an e-reader which can sort of collect titles without my really realizing it until I get to the point where I go, oh my gosh, I have so many books and nothing to read, clearly, so let's go to the library and find something else. In any case, the 5 titles that I would like to focus on this year are: number 1, the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, or really anything by this author. I was really intrigued to read The City We Became, which came out in 2020, but I have heard so many good things about Jemisin's writing in general that I figured I would sort of get into her backlist first, and especially the 5th season having this trilogy, be so lauded and having won so many awards, that I really would like to start there and sort of see what the hype is. Number 2 would be Etiquette and Espionage, or the Finishing School series by Gail Carriger. This is based in a world that she created in the Parasol Protectorate, which I have read previously. It's sort of Victorian era steampunk. There are magical creatures. So the first book in the Parasol Protectorate is Soulless. We focus on a character who doesn't have a soul and can actually remove the sort of metaphysical attributes of the magical creatures. So we see a werewolf, and when our main character is in contact with the werewolf, he can no longer shift into his wolf form. There's a lot of humor in it. There's some steaminess in there, some spiciness, and it's just a lot of fun throughout reading the novel. Etiquette and Espionage, the Finishing School series, again, is set in the same world, but it is for a YA audience. So I figured I would give that a try. I own the first 3. Right now, I don't recall how many are in the Finishing School series, and then there's another follow-up series that, I like the world, so I'd like to explore more within it. Number 3 is The Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafon. The Angel's Game is a follow-up to one of my all-time favorite books. It's the start of a series called The Cemetery of Forgotten Books, and the first title is The Shadow of the Wind. I own the entire series. There are 4 titles. I have read 1. I have read 1 multiple times because, again, it's on my list of all-time favorites, and we've also selected this for book club, so I got to reread it for that occasion. But I've never continued on, so that's got to be a focus this year. Series, right? Who else is with me on series? Put down below any series that you would like to finish in 2021. I'd love to know. Number 4 is another continuation of series, go figure. Last year, for the first time, I read All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first book in the Murderbot Diaries. So it starts off with a series of novellas, 4 novellas. So the first one is All Systems Red. Second one is Artificial Condition. So that is the next one that I need to read. Number 5 is actually a full length, I think like 350 pages or so, novel called Network Effect. So again, I own this whole series. This is all an ebook, so I tend to forget about those in my own collection. But I really enjoyed my time with Murderbot in All Systems Red, and really should just continue on at least with the novellas and try to at least start the novel if I'm still interested after 400 pages or so within the novellas themselves. And number 5 is Elatsoe by Darcie Littlebadger, and also credited on the cover are illustrations by Rovina Kai. This is Darcie Littlebadger's debut novel and came out towards the end of 2020. It focuses on a sort of a parallel universe in which there are magical aspects that are relatively well known, specifically within the indigenous culture of this version of America. Ms. Littlebadger is a member of the Lipan Apache tribe in Texas and really uses that voice to create her title character, Elatsoe. I have heard nothing but wonderful things about this novel. It's a little strange, and I have actually already started it, so hopefully I can check that off in the next week or so. Question number 3 is, what genre would you like to read more of? I feel that I'm fairly omnivorous as far as my reading tastes. What I always want to focus on more is in nonfiction. I tend to gravitate toward a narrative, primarily like linear storytelling. So you get a book, you get chapter 1, and you go through to however many chapters, and it tells you a story, right? Nonfiction isn't typically set up in this manner, so it's a little bit harder for me to dive in and be invested. But the fact that it's real life means that I am interested in expanding my horizons and learning more through nonfiction, just as I do by reading fiction. You know what I'm saying? Question number 4 is name 3 non-book related goals for 2021. So we're getting personal here, huh? I have been on a weight loss journey for a little bit over a year now. I have been participating in WW, formerly Weight Watchers, and it has been really good for me. I go to meetings every week. I have a leader who's really invested in figuring out what works for her people, and it has been a really healthy journey for me. So goal number 1 is to continue on this journey and hopefully get to my goal by the end of the year. I'm verbalizing that. We'll see where we are when we get towards November, December of this year and my second year anniversary with WW. Second one is to keep focus on my schoolwork. So I've enrolled in grad school in the fall. I took my first courses toward an MLIS, or a Master's in Library and Information Science. I am enrolled in a 100% online program, which has been a challenge for me as I wasn't used to it. But the school in which I enrolled has actually been doing their grad program 100% online for over a decade. So I felt I was in pretty good hands, even in the midst of the global pandemic and everybody trying to figure out online. I'm like, well, these guys have already been doing it, so I'm in pretty good hands. First semester with basic courses, I was able to continue reading for pleasure in addition to completing my coursework. So goal number 2 is to continue to focus on that. I will likely be moving beyond the core courses into some more intense topics and areas that require additional focus. So want to keep that going so that I can continue my work towards becoming a librarian and sharing information about books on a professional basis, I guess. And finally, goal number 3 is to engage in self-positivity, self-understanding. So to continue to be kind to myself. What I realized at the end of 2019 and moving through the year 2020 with its very many challenges for so many people, is the importance of being kind to myself. It never helps to beat yourself up for something that you should have done, or for doing something that may not have been the best decision for you. Move past it and make a different decision next time, right? Remember to be kind to yourself and figure out how to move forward from whatever decision you have made in the past. Question number 5 is, what's a book you've had forever that you still need to read? Go figure. This is another continuation of a series of which I own the entire trilogy. This is the Gemma Doyle series from Libba Bray, or by Libba Bray. So the second book is called Rebel Angels. This is the follow-up to A Great and Terrible Beauty. This is set in, I believe, a Victorian time frame in a London boarding school, and features a character named, obviously, Gemma Doyle. There's some magic, there's some like sapphic lore going on, and I have enjoyed the first one in the past. I recently listened to it via audio in preparation of continuing on in the series, and then that sort of fell off. Maybe my holds came in at the library, who can say. So, still on my shelf, still need to read. Question number 6, or statement number 6, or prompt number 6, is name one word that you hope 2021 will be. I hope that 2021 is sunny. I like the sunshine. Can't spend a whole lot of time out there, what with my complexion. But sunshine is happiness, it's warmth. It's allowing people to sometimes take a deep breath. So, sunny. And question number 7 says to tag a friend. So if you are watching this video, I so appreciate it, and I will tag you. Let me know your answers to any of the questions down below in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like and maybe subscribe if you'd like to stick around, see what else I have to share, and I will catch you next time. Bye.